we live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Are we live? Yes, we are live. What's going on, guys? TM.
Did it record on the
Rania. Oh, yes.
camcorder? Okay.
On the camera. No.
Really? You didn't hit record here? That was the one thing I asked you to do. Thank you. Good job.
Perfect. What's going on, guys? Jason. Johnny. What's
up,
going
Jason?
on? Edward.
Is he peeing? Yes. Yes, I was. Thank you for asking. Gotta relieve the bladder. You know, after that exciting Lightning game.
That was actually pretty good.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I gotta deal with all that traffic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, God, it's gonna suck. Happy Saturday, everyone, and welcome to the show. How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Quick update. If you were a winner in the 50th subscriber thing that we did, you should have got an email last night.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for participating in that. We had 7 winners. I sent out 7 emails, so way to go there. We're working on doing something else next, but I don't think we're going to do it the same way. I think I'm going to just, we'll talk about that at a later date. But
I'm just saying thank you for getting the speaker brackets for me.
Snowy Sweden. Hey, no problem. Did Paul even send them out yet? I don't know. Let's hope so. Probably not. Knowing Paul. What a day, right? What a week.
Yeah, what a week.
Oh, God. How exhausting.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
Yeah. What's up, Scotty?
So these guys here, you guys
Yeah,
are familiar with these guys, right? These are CDs, notes. So we got these CDs. So we had a guy come in today, a guy named Danny, who is a fan of the show, and he was like, "Man, I know you like classic rock, which I do." And he goes, "I have these CDs. I just buy them and burn them into my computer, but I thought you might like them." And I was like,
Yeah.
Yes, I would, because I'm a big Cars fan and I love AC/DC. So we actually listened to them today while we were working on his car.
Yeah, that was nice.
He gave you a couple CDs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Danny, with the Hummer.
Thank you, Danny. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it.
Not for the Hummer, with
the Hummer. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to confuse anyone.
Jeff from Maryland said everything is good. Thank you.
Oh, sweet, Jeff. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love your shirt. It is very comfortable.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it'd be cool. We were talking about it the other day. So this Jeff from Maryland, he drove. Obviously, he's from Maryland, and he brought us a shirt which I wore last week.
Yeah,
it's a really cool shirt.
Yeah,
and there's Susan, and I was telling Fernando it'd be really cool if we had a shirt from every city where there's somebody watching the show. And okay, and she was like, "Wow, yeah, okay, great, hold on, great, doing show."
We're doing a show.
Yeah, I know, right? It's not
¿Qué
like a
pasa, Gabriel?
surprise. She's probably like, "Oh, let me just text him. Let me not look at the clock." It's like, hey, every week now for like, I don't know, 6 months, we do a show every Saturday. It starts around 6:30. That's okay. So anyways, yeah, that was that. Now this week, okay, so Monday, the girls are at Disney. I'm headed there now. And so that gave me Friday night. Friday, I don't know, we had a scheduling screw up here, so we got to work on our cars.
Yes.
Which was really weird.
Yes.
So Monday show, which because the girls are gone, I got to edit last night, is a new series we're doing. It started with the Halo 9. We didn't record the radio we put in after the Halo 9. It was a 959 Kenwood, so that we could do the reviews on those. We came out with a 795. We're eventually going to do the 595. It's the same radio.
Tony from UK.
6 point. What's up, Tony? Holy crap. Anyways, so the new radio that we put in the Camaro yesterday's video is coming up on Monday. You guys are going to want to check it out because it's one of the radios that you guys are interested in, you guys are excited about. Yes, we just got done watching hockey, Brian.
Yep.
Go Bolts. That's all I got to say. And you guys are going to like the video, I think. We take the radio and we get to have some fun with it. I'm going to get to have some fun with it because it's in my car for a couple weeks. Well, maybe a month on this one. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Then we also got time to work on your car.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a new series that is primarily focused around the work that we do on our car. It'll probably take us as long to do our cars as it takes Soundman to build a box for his car.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know, but we're thinking about calling it, you know, we have Install Diaries, but we're thinking about calling it Car Lab. Car Lab. So, because we're basically going to use our cars as a rolling lab for new products and things like that. So, might be fun.
Yeah.
All right, hold that thought.
All right.
What do you got? Talk to me.
All right, let me see. I heard about Kenwood. Let's see.
Okay, that was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
That's better. Yeah, because the camera was off center, so I was looking like this, and it just didn't look right. Tampa Bay Lightning versus Washington Capitals Stanley Cup. Ooh.
All right, my Kenwood radio has a setting called two zone. What is it?
What?
Two zone.
Two zone. Dual zone.
Yeah.
Dual zone. Okay, is it a Kenwood?
What is it? What is it and what it does?
All right, so dual zone on a Kenwood is really cool. So if you have rear seat entertainment, Kenwood is really, really nice for that because they have a dual zone feature. Dual zone means that you can play one source up front and one source in the back. What's unique about the Kenwood is that you can actually play the rear source through the rear speakers. So that allows you to play, let's say, FM radio, iPod, Bluetooth, whatever, Bluetooth music up front, and then if you have a drop-down overhead and the kids don't want to wear headphones, they can listen to it through the door speakers, and you have a volume control for those too. Now what it does is it actively shuts off the subwoofer, because the subwoofer would just be weird playing through the car like that. It's also a real common problem when people would come in and be like, hey man, I don't know what's wrong, man. My sub stopped working. I don't get any sound out of my rear speakers. It's like, you turned on dual zone. Now, if you're never planning on doing that, then you don't need dual zone. Yeah. But that's that. Okay. Yeah.
All right. If you want iPad installs, you can go to Soundman.
Yes.
He do all that. We don't do nothing like that.
Contact Rafa.
Yes. Yes. Hi guys. It's possible to install an Alpine Halo 9. There you go. That's it. Right word. Alpine Halo 9.
Oh, they're real picky about that, by the way.
On the Jeep Wrangler.
When we were doing the Eric Brooks interview, they were like, he kept going, listen, you have to call it an Alpine Halo 9. We can't just refer to it as Halo 9.
Halo 9, no.
Okay, whenever works for you, bro.
But Eddie, yes. Yes,
Jeep Wrangler? Yeah. Okay, so check this out. You guys just saw the video on the Jeep Wrangler that we did. That was the Install Diaries Part 1 and 2. It was the first time we did a Part 1 and 2. Yeah. The brackets that you need for a 207, those are those cool metal brackets that come with a 207. Apparently, you can buy those. So, they're out of stock right now, so we don't know if we'll ever be able to get them, but we've ordered 6 pair of them. If you're going to do a Halo 9 in a Jeep Wrangler, you're going to need metal brackets because the cheap plastic ones that they make for that will not support a Halo 9. So what you're going to want to do is once we give Paul, if you're here in the U.S., give Paul a call, 727-216-6170, and you're going to want to order a pair of those. If you order a pair of those will be strong enough to actually hold the Halo 9 in the dash. Without them, though, I wouldn't even try it. I mean, you can, but it'll probably wobbly, because even a normal double-din radio in that dash is crap.
Oh, yeah.
So, but when we did that, when we did the 207, the WRA 207, that was really nice. Those were definitely the awesomest. Hello from Panama.
All right, hi Dan and Fernando. Do you guys install the back foam from the Fast Ring kits in the 2011 Camaro door signs? There is a bracing bar in the way? Yes. Yes,
you.
we do. What I do in the back piece, I cut it in half and put it in between it. So I put one in the top, one in the bottom, and that's how we put the...
And then you also cover the bar with roadkill.
Exactly.
So there you go. Real simple.
Yep.
What's the worst install you guys had to do? So it's not really the worst install. I don't think there's any car that's terrible. The worst install is really when the car comes in and it's absolutely disgusting. That's where you kind of like, oh God, really?
What's that, John?
Remember the van we were doing? We had a cargo van in, and the cargo vans only come with headliner up past the head here. Well, remember the one when we went like this and they all went...
Oh my God, I was like...
He freaked out.
I was crying.
Oh, he freaked out.
I don't like,
so it's stuff like that that really kind of spoils the install.
But you have to do it. It doesn't matter.
You do it. You just do it.
Yeah, you do it. It's just like...
Yeah. So, yeah, you definitely just do it. Yeah, it's rough.
All right. Rob say I install an Alpine 209 in my GM.
Okay, yep.
In my truck today,
Yep.
much better than the X110. Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny, I was actually talking with a guy about that radio yesterday. Yeah. Because he's a big Alpine fan. And he actually he's got 3 GM cars, 3 GM trucks. One of them, and both of them have Restyle radios in it.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, I got that one. And then he's got 2 GMs. So he's got the big one that we have on display, and then he's got the other one that where it goes off to the right-hand side.
Yes.
He's got both of those, but now he's got a brand new truck. And, of course, I was showing him the new 9-inch, the 209. And, yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
You
Jason,
might want to keep it.
You guys will have a lot of shirts. If we have...
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that, though, because I like representing, man. I mean... You know, I have a rule, okay? T-shirt rule number 1, all right? Because this is Dean's rule on T-shirts. Like this right here. You will never see me wear this in public. You'll never see me wear that in public. And the reason why is it has words on it. I don't wear any shirts with words. And the reason why is because when I'm walking around anywhere, the mall, and I've been stopped, and that's why I don't wear them. I mean, I made the mistake of wearing my Lightning shirt, and one guy was like, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Lightning?" And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want anyone to bug me. I just want to do my thing and walk away. But you know, you'll be standing in the line at Disney, and the people in front of you will be, oh, that's funny, or what does that mean? And it just drives me nuts. So, you know, I like logos. I like things like that. That's why I like the 5-star is like a logo, and then like car stereo is very small. Apparently, you're going to do wireless Apple CarPlay anytime soon. Okay, so. This is what we're told from our guys. There's a training coming up for them, meaning the sales rep Pioneer guys, within the next, I think by the end of this month, they're having some kind of a big meeting. And I think that meeting is going to be when they introduce the replacements for all the NEX stuff. So we're looking at maybe a month to 2 months, we're going to know what's going on with them. It is going to be wireless CarPlay. It is going to be wireless Android Auto, which, by the way, there's only 5 phones that'll do wireless Android Auto right now.
Yeah.
So don't get too excited about that.
Okay. Well, apparently I'm froze.
So true on the T-shirt thing. Yeah, no doubt. Are we froze?
No, I'm just like...
Oh, did it go to a commercial?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, that's weird. What are your experiences on capacitors? Not a fan. We refer to the capacitor as a spray paint can with a voltmeter attached to it. Yeah. They used to be really nice. Back when they used to be able to make 18 volt and 24 volt capacitors, they were really nice capacitors. They used to be about 150 bucks. Now they're like $40, and they're typically like 14 volt capacitors. Or what they like to do is take a bunch of little capacitors, put them inside of the canister, because that's cheaper, and then they'll say it's like a 1 farad cap somehow. Buy a voltmeter, buy a battery. Yeah. Like Stinger makes the little SPV20, or if you guys follow us on Instagram, you saw that little, I think is a 680 or something like that. Little tiny batteries, and Kinetic makes one too. Those are better.
Yeah.
Just get those. Those are way better.
Jason, the video you did with the Kia this week, you said it was done by a shop.
Yes.
If so, that was terrible.
Yes. What are your thoughts on bass knobs? Randy, you're hitting it out of the park. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of bass knobs only because I'm an installer, and it's just like that it's like, it's like you're having to do, let's say, like a Chrysler where everything is in the trunk, and then you got to run a bass knob. Paul loves bass knobs, so every amp we do, Paul is going to try to sell you a bass knob.
Yeah.
If you're using a Pioneer, I love a bass knob because you have to hit like 27 buttons to get to the subwoofer control. If you're using a Kenwood, you just hit EQ, subwoofer volume's right there. So, with the Alpine stuff, you just flick down and the subwoofer volume's right there. So, depending on the radio you're using, a bass knob is nice. Now, if so, yeah.
All right, so
my thought. Okay.
Yeah, all right. What type of aux cable should I order to keep my factory aux in my 2012 F-150?
To keep it? What do you mean?
Keep it.
I mean,
I think you have to hardwire.
Oh, to keep it? Yeah. You gotta hardwire that. There's 4 wires behind that, and 3 wire or 3 of them.
We have a video how to.
Yeah, we do have a video how to keep your aux cable. But I mean, really, okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to cut the factory one. You're going to make sure the wire's long enough so that you can connect it back together, but you're going to solder into the back side of it. Buy a cheap aux cable. You don't need anything special. We use a $4 aux cable, I believe, to integrate it when we do it.
I think
honestly,
it's more than that, but...
Okay, 10 maybe? I don't know. We honestly don't do it that much anymore because, like, a lot of people use iPhones. And no one uses aux cable, especially they're buying the radios for the Bluetooth. The new Kenwoods don't even have an aux input on them.
Not anymore.
So like the 395, the 595, the 795, the 350, they don't have aux input.
All right, Tony from UK say, are Pioneers going to do like Apple CarPlay wireless anytime soon?
Yeah, I answered that.
Yeah.
Yep, got that. I think every 12-volt salesman likes adding bass knobs. Yeah, they do. And that's actually the biggest complaint we have about kicker amplifiers is that they don't come with a bass knob. And every time I get a chance to talk to kicker, I'm like, hey guys, listen, do me a favor, put a bass knob in the box. I don't want to, it's like, I don't want to have to charge the guy $15, $20 for a bass knob. I don't know what price point you're trying to hit, but by not putting a bass knob in the box, you're not really hitting them. It's just crap that you're, hey, it's a delivery fee or whatever. Just put the bass knob in the box. I mean, Alpine does that. They don't put the bass knob in the box. You got to buy it separately. It's silly. I don't get it. I mean, and then you have these amplifiers you can buy for $50 that have bass knobs in them. Thank you, Scotty.
All right. So Brian said, hey guys, sorry about the package being late. It was a busy week for me. I just put the mail in today. I appreciate you guys.
No problem. And we know what it means to have a busy week. Trust me. When we didn't have anything to do yesterday, we were like...
We always have something to do.
What happened? And it was weird, too, because like all day, all week, it was like, hey, when can I get this done? When can I get this done? I'm like, I think Paul's booking for next week. Yeah. And then Friday rolls around, and we're sitting here going... Which was great, because we really wanted to film the videos that we had an opportunity to film. So it was really weird. And it was almost like you're just waiting for the second shoe to drop. Okay, thoughts on the XR 900? I know you oh yeah, no. Okay, so the XR 900.5 Kenwood excellent amplifier. They have a new version of it, which is the 901.5. Difference is the bass knob, and the 901.5 has the high-res certification on it. Do we love those amplifiers? Yeah. For the price, that is a bad mofo. There's no question about it. We just got done doing the Jeep last week. I put up that picture on Instagram. It was underneath the seat with that, and that that was the install. That was part 1 and 2. We used that amplifier in there. So yeah, if you want to see one in action, check out the Jeep install diaries part 1 and 2. I believe part 2 is when we got around to doing the amplifier. And that amp has never disappointed. It never disappoints.
All right, so thoughts on the Kenwood XR
Hey, look at Julia.
900.
Julia, it's hey guys.
What's up, Julio?
Coachella. Right here.
Yeah, Julio.
That's cool. Yay.
Coachella, California.
Yeah.
You're going to California?
I'm going to California. I'll be in California in July.
Nice.
I'm excited. God, I'm excited. I'm gonna play Total Tourist. I'm gonna get a fanny pack.
Really?
I'm gonna put white shit on my nose, stuff on my nose.
All right. Thoughts on the Penguin XR905?
We just covered that.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I just covered that.
Okay.
It's okay. I know you're reading while I'm talking. It's all right.
I
Hey
know.
guys from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do a video installing radio on a 2010 Focus?
Focus. Yes, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've done them, but I don't know. I can't point you to any one specific video on the Focus.
It's on the install diaries.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
And that was a green one.
Was it?
That was a green one. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's one somewhere.
Yeah.
I should install my passive crossovers near my amp or at the back of the car or near the tweeters and the woofers. Okay, so passive crossovers, where should you install them? It really depends. So, like, for example, we'll give you two cases.
Yeah.
The Rockford T-Series, the Pioneers, the JL C3s.
Yeah.
Those are just speakers we recently installed, like in the Mustang that we just did. You posted a bunch of pictures on Instagram. I posted my picture on Instagram. You'll see we have amp, and then the 4 crossovers in a row. The Toyota Tundra, we put the power T2s in.
Yep.
And the crossovers are sitting right next to the amplifiers. Those are big passive crossovers. You need a place to put them. That's great. Put them by the amplifier. It's easier to do. Run a big 16 gauge up to the speakers. Awesome. Now Alpine, with like the R, the S, the Z, the Focal integration series, what they do is they put caps. They split the crossover into multiple pieces. So you have like the tweeter side, the mid-range side, a mid-bass, whatever it takes. Those you're going to want to put close to the speaker, just because they're designed that way. It just works better. That's how we would install it. So there you go.
All right. For 2006 Altima, does the pack SWI-RC allow us to remap the steering wheel controls?
Okay, so an SWI-RC you program any way you want. Okay, so it doesn't come programmed. You actually have to program it. So you're going to go volume up. So you hit the button on that. You go hit this button, volume up. Hit that button, volume down. Or actually hit the button to start it, then go volume up, volume down, mute, skip, source, skip, answer phone, end phone, VR. Okay, so as long as you hit those buttons in whatever sequence you want, you can get any one button to do any one thing. It doesn't matter. So like if track down, a lot of the times these steering wheels don't have any VR functionality. No one ever goes track down, so we'll turn track, VR stands for voice recognition. We'll hit the track down and make it VR. Now, if you get the CP2 version of that, you can do multi-button touch. Yeah. So each button can be programmed for 2 things. So like volume down can be volume down and mute. Depending on the radio you have, you can have hang up phone and push for VR. So there's a lot you can do more with a CP2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Hey, Christopher.
Yep. What's up, Christopher?
Sorry, my message was too long. Oh.
K9 subs. I don't know.
I think what am I thinking here?
All right. When you
Somebody
go
just
to
did a review on those.
When you go to California,
yeah,
use Doc from Soundman for using many explosions.
I would like to hook up with him, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Just because I don't know where he's at in relationship to where we're going to be.
Where is
and California's really long.
I mean, it's really big. Yes.
Yeah, I thought Florida sucks, but California really sucks.
Yeah.
Is the CP2 the best way to go? Is there a better control? Personally, if I have to choose any steering wheel control, I'm buying a CP2.
¿Qué pasa, IT Techs?
If they don't make a RP4 or 5 for the vehicle, which is going to be the smart harness with the integrated steering wheel controls, I'm going to go with a CP2 if I can. It really just depends on Paul, but yeah. Hey, it's up from Los Angeles. Yo from Ohio. Callie here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anyone know if you could program the steering wheel controls via the pack hit map on screen of Pioneer AVIC radio? So here's the deal. There's only certain things that are actually programmable. So like having the map come up is not one of them. It's a Pioneer thing, not a pack thing. Pioneer only allows certain things to happen, and that's it. If you're on the SWRC or the CP2 or anything like that, you look at the instructions, they're all the same. They list all the features that are mappable, programmable.
Yeah.
Map is not one of them. Even with the iData steering wheel control, that's not a mappable feature either. You can't do it with theirs as well.
All right, Kenwood DNX A92 does have a way to mute.
Does the what?
Does have a way to mute.
Does it have a mute on what radio?
On the A92.
892, 89. That's an old one.
That's an old one. A92.
That's the you remember it's 891, 892, 893. It turned into 8 whatever. It's what replaced. That's what the yeah. So yes, there's going to be so yeah, there is, but it's a multi-function button. So you're going to have to hold something down to get it to do mute, just like you can hold something down to get the display to go off. That's owner's manual is really download the owner's manual from their website.
Have you played around with the new update for the ILX 207? Do you guys upgrade the radios when you install?
When we know there's an update, yes, we
do.
try to update everything.
Yeah.
This guy right here, these are all update thumb drives. And then there's a whole bunch more laying inside here. So anytime we're aware of an update, we try to update the radio. Pioneer definitely by far does the most updates.
Yeah.
I was unaware that there was an update for a 207, so I'll have to check into that. Thanks. But yes, if there's an update, we try to always do it, just because it usually fixes whatever's going wrong with it when it's in the bay before it leaves. Because we try to test every single feature that we could possibly think of before a car leaves. So you guys have seen the videos, like, well, you know, I kind of make it a quick montage, but we check everything because we don't want to deal with it. How long have you guys been working together? What is it, 5 or 6 years?
5 years.
Is it 5 years?
Yeah.
5 years. Got an update, USB. Got to get on my USB update game. I just went on and okay, so it's really screwed up. So like the new Pioneers, they don't work with the SanDisk Cruisers, so I had to actually dig out my old school USBs to get those to work. But I try to just buy bulk. I'll buy like 10 USBs at a time, and I try to have one. I just put blue tape on it and write like 8200, and then the date, and then like 9904, and then the date. That way I'll have an idea, or the actual update number if they give it to me. What
means the VR on the Sony audio equipment? So
VR, which is it's not virtual reality, which is that's probably the confusion in it, is that right now virtual reality stands for voice recognition. So when you're doing Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, when you press their little microphone, it comes on, it goes doo-doo, and it asks you what you want to do. So we've taken the term voice recognition, because usually in the instruction manuals they put a VR, and that is turned into voice recognition. So naturally you can't spell it out, it's got to be an acronym. Yay. So that's what VR stands for.
Alright. When you go to Cali, if you love burgers, stop by a Pulse. Place in Los Alamitos.
Ooh.
100%. There you go.
I personally don't eat red meat, but Haley and Sue both dig some burgers, so I can do a chicken sandwich.
What do you think about the power subs, like in general?
Powered subwoofers?
Yes.
Honestly, up until we got our hands on the P300 10 and 12, I was never impressed with the powered subwoofer. I mean, we did, like, the Fusion. We had Fusion before that we used a lot of.
Yes.
And it was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. But the Rockfords have definitely changed my thought process on that.
On the powered subs?
On the powered subs. Up until then, I was not impressed. But I even put we put the P312 in Haley's truck. And, dude, that's awesome. She loved it. So, if it's great, because if it's what everything about, like, that particular subwoofer, I like. You can put it in a car. It's easily unpluggable, which is key. Like, it just unplugs. We put a dongle on it, so it makes it real easy to deal with. But yeah, that's what I like.
All right, so I bought the Pioneer AVH 200EX after the review, and I like it. Thank you so much.
Blood pressure this week is kind of okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. So
when we're gonna see the review for the 99 or
I gotta do this 4 times a day, so
yeah.
it's been a lot of fun because I'll take a break and yay.
Soon we're gonna do that review.
Wait for Monday.
Yes.
We have something special coming on Monday, but you know. All right, that's that.
Have you guys ever installed a whole complete sound system in an RV?
Not in a really long time. Mainly because I did it at my previous place, but not here because our parking lot really can't support an RV. So, what brands do you dislike? I like that question. There's not a lot of brands that I don't like. There's a lot of brands that I would never own personally, but that doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they're not for me. And that's one of the reasons why it's taking me so long to put something in my car, and I really like the idea that we're doing now where we're not going to commit to anything.
Yeah.
It's like a bad date. I'm not going to commit.
But okay.
So we'll take it back. When I was younger and first got into this back in the 90s, we were an Orion dealer. Okay, so everything we did was Orion. That's back when Orion was awesome. Okay, thanks, Jason.
Yeah, he's in Valencia.
Half hour from
Universal.
Hey, conveniently, that's where we're gonna be. What are the odds? I'll have to reach out to him. I'd love to. Anyways, so back then, like, Rockford was the enemy. Like, because it's like if you're not on my team, you suck. So we were Orion. The other guys were Rockfords. Precision Power was in there somewhere, but I kind of looked at Precision Power as just a glorified Orion amplifier at the time because there was a lot of interbreeding going on in Arizona at the time where all that stuff came from. So I just despised Rockford. It just drove me nuts. But it was all personal. Like, I knew the stuff didn't suck. We never had an issue with it. It just, I was Orion and you weren't. So that was that. Right now, though,
we installed today, what was that?
A Boss amp.
Yeah. So, I mean...
today it's really... Anything that you're not going to like it for reasons of, let's say, quality or anything like that. Yeah. You're just not going to like it because you're biased to it. Just like, I'm an Apple guy. I have Apple laptops, I have Apple everything, I got Apple TV, I got the stupid expensive Apple Watch. And I will never own an Android anything because it's just not my thing. Are they crap? No. If I was going to buy one, I'd buy a Google 8, whatever. But it's just, so that's really where it is. I don't think there's anything that's garbage per se. Now, there might be interfaces I want to chuck up against the wall and monkey stomp the crap out of, but then again... Okay, sorry, that was really long. My bad.
All right.
I like the HX2 subs. Those were pretty cool back in the day. Sorry about your Apple love.
That's
Google
awesome.
Pixel 2. There you go. Hey, it's one of those things where I had, I was like, bro, get a Dell, dude. And I had my Dell.
That's because you have a lot of money.
No, it's not. Honestly, it was funny. When we bought our first Mac, man, it was this ugly little white thing. It's just, it makes sense to me. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what you use as long as it makes sense to you. That's like when I try to explain to these guys that are designing these DSPs, it's like, listen, it's just got to make sense, okay? If someone can wrap their head around the concept, great. Just like when we're putting SWIRCs and CP2 stereo controls, those make sense to me. I can wrap my head around it. When I go to put in the access piece, it doesn't make sense to me. So, like, I don't get their train of thought.
All right, so Aloha.
Hey!
What do you recommend on how to build an amp rack for 3 amps? Thanks.
I mean, if we're going to build a 3 amp rack, we're going to build out a 1/2 inch Centra. Previously, I would have used MDF. If you got a welder, knock yourself out with that. That's a really nice way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, James?
Hey, James.
But, you know, you just got to make it out of whatever you have available to you. And at the end of the day, that's it. I mean, if you have, you know, I had a guy that had access to 1/2-inch plywood. He built his whole trunk out of 1/2-inch plywood. And it was like, wow, that's freaking impressive. You know, before everyone was using plastics, my guy that I learned from, he was buying plastic. He was making full trunk flushes out of plastic, and he would literally go into the trunk and like pull out the whole sheet of plastic and throw it on the ground and be like, "Look at that!"
Yeah.
You know. And he's like, "That's one piece of plastic," and I'd be like, and you thought it was fiberglass. It was awesome. So you know, whatever you're comfortable with using, use. That's it.
All right.
Still waiting on a Mini Cooper F56 install. You and me both. What the heck, man? You know, we don't get a lot of Mini Coopers. You know, like we did one before we started.
Probably like 3.
Before we started filming, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once we turned on the cameras, it's like...
They go away. Yeah. Tony's like, buy a Mac and you won't go back.
Yeah. I mean, there again, it's just whatever makes sense to you.
Yeah.
I use Apple, Windows, Linux, Android, or whatnot. And Eric, that's amazing, because if you can wrap your head around all that tech, that's awesome. You know, for me, I have the new Windows machine here, and I'm still trying to figure out how to format a thumb drive on the damn thing. I mean, I know I should just go to YouTube like everyone else and just look it up, but it just frustrates me to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas my Windows, my Mac machine, I can just done. You know, so. But there again, I feel like you fill your brain with what you feel is important, and that's it. So. For me, Windows is not important. I don't need it for my day-to-day life, so I'm not going to waste my time on it. I'm going to put that I'm going to put that space to better use, which is this stuff. Okay, it's up from New Jersey, NZ, New Zealand. Okay, maybe, yes, I hope.
What's the longest shelf ever did?
What's the longest shelf? I think he meant show. What is the longest shelf ever
did it install?
Did it?
Like a
shelf, or is it
shelf? Like an ambrac, something like that.
I don't know. That was I think that might have been an autocorrect. All right, what other questions you got?
All right, let's see.
I know there's a ton of them.
I only Windows. It's possible to get a ribbon extension. Ribbon extension for the Halo.
Okay,
9,
so actually, I think yes. Be patient on the extension ribbon. I think you're gonna have to order one, but I don't think it's gonna be an extension. It's okay. So they were talking about that this week. Our guy at where's Donnie work? Titan Motoring.
Yes.
Titan Motoring out of
Tennessee.
Is it in Tennessee?
I think so.
Titan Motoring out of Tennessee. Contact a guy there named Donnie. You might go by Don. There's a guy that works there called Ray West, who is an amazing installer, fabricator. He's working on that project right now, so you can Google him, and that would be who you'd probably want to contact to find out about an extension.
All right, well, let's see. Any budget?
What's that?
Any budget slim subs do you guys would recommend for our 92 Chevy Silverado? Is gonna go behind the seats. I don't really know of any great budget-minded shallow mount subwoofers. I mean, probably the Pioneer flats, the IB flats, or whatever they're called now. They're shallow mounts. I think they're still called IB flats. Is probably going to be your most budget-conscious shallow subwoofer. They do have a new Z series, which is really nice. We did a couple of them the other day. I mean, we're still in the camp of we want to do a comp RT, kicker comp RT, shallow. They're not crazy money, but man, they sound really good. Thank you, Matthew. All right, what do you got? All right, do you prefer running power wires through interior or under the car?
We like to drill holes through the firewall with a grommet. I try to avoid going underneath the car because that adds a whole other layer of stuff that we have to do. If you're gonna, we talked about this last week, if you're gonna run a power wire under the car, you need to put it in some kind of a conduit so that you protect the wire. The shielding around the wire is not going to be enough to protect it. That's why, like a car manufacturer, usually will put in some kind of flex loom and then some kind of tape, and there's usually tape, so it's got 3 layers of insulation. So just running a power wire under a car is a very bad idea if you're not going to put it in some form of conduit.
Nelson Garcia said, do you guys have Morel display? No, not yet.
You know, believe it or not, that's what I should have done today when I had the extra 15 minutes, was actually go look at the Morel stuff, because I haven't even seen it yet.
No, me neither.
I haven't even seen it. We got it in, and we've just been...
We've been here
We could have done it yesterday.
Oh, that was 15 minutes, and then we came here.
Yeah, today?
That's it.
Well, yeah, because that was just a period between... we were watching hockey. But no, I actually haven't had a chance to do anything with the Morel stuff yet, which is really kind of disappointing. Yeah, because I really, honestly, the speakers I know are great. I'm not real worried about that. It's the new amplifiers that they have. I want to check those out because one of our guys, one of our customers, really good customers, he actually was the first. He was one of the reasons why Paul picked up the pace getting the line in, because he was dragging his feet, driving me crazy. So, and he was really excited. He took out his PDX V9 to put in the new Morel 5-channel. Because it's an AB/D class amplifier, so that ought to be cool. Do you build custom subwoofer boxes? We don't build custom subwoofer boxes here on property. Anytime we need a custom subwoofer box built, we contact Bright Star Car Audio, which you can find on the internet. They will custom build you whatever you want, and also they may already have it pre-built for a subwoofer. That's all they do. They just build boxes. It's a box building facility. They have a huge like eBay store and all that fun stuff where they'll make whatever you want.
All right, the third question.
Yeah. Just wondering why you don't use alternator. What is that? What is it? Alternate spade connectors when you what? Why? Oh, okay. Why don't I alternate the direction of spade connectors when you use them? Great question. For the most part, we don't use spade connectors that much anymore. We used to. We don't use them a lot. Actually, we don't really use spade connectors. No. Now, the only time I will use a spade connector is like if I'm doing a 12 gauge where I need it to come apart. In that case, I will put them, you know, like backwards. So one is off center, or one is off whatever. You get the idea. One is female, one is male. We typically use the bullet connectors, which would apply the same way. The reason why we don't with the bullet connectors, though, is because most of the time we're using them for voltage. So, for example, if we're running a reverse wire forward, we need to have the insulated end on that, and we need to have the non-insulated end in the dash, which would basically be the male part and the female part. The female part's the insulated part, so that when they go over one another, the live wire is shielded, and the wire that just is a trigger isn't. That's a bad move. Anyways, so what we try to do is, even if you do them, we try to do color coding. So if it's going to be something that the customer's going to need to deal with, where they're going to have to pull it apart or whatnot, we want to put heat shrink on it where there's a clear red or a clear black, so that they can, if they're playing with it, because they don't always get this and they'll just jam them into one another sometimes or rip them off. That's why.
All right, James, have you ever used a Kimber cable? I had one customer got it in for his car, and they barely minute me. Oh, they use it in his work now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so my only story with Kimber cable is back when this was back in '94, I was driving Alpine's Dodge Ram. I think it was 94, 95. I was Alpine had a big Dodge Ram, which is what made me love Dodge Rams. So that's why I ended up buying 3 Dodge Rams after that. But anyways, so I had to drive around their Dodge Ram. And at the time, Alpine had worked out a deal with Kimber Cable to supply all the cable for their amplifiers. Kimber made them a 0-gauge Kimber cable. Now, Kimber cable, for those of you guys that don't know what it is, look it up. But every wire is individually shielded and multi-strand. It's crazy. So this 0-gauge Kimber cable was like crazy. Each strand little bundle was covered in insulation, and it was all weaved together into a 0-gauge.
Wow.
It was insane. And people would just look at it and they'd be like, what the heck is that? And I'd be like, it's Kimber cable. That looks expensive. And I'd be like, it is. But they make like really nice RCAs that are super expensive. And very directional.
I would like to compare Focal with Morel. I like dynamic sound. Yeah.
Dynamic sound.
A lot of mid-bass. What was the headphones that you're gonna buy? The new headphones? Huh.
Just bought a pair of headphones. Stop. Let's not talk about headphones.
What?
Any subs in the Camaro yet? Not yet. We haven't gotten that much time. Right now is like head unit season. I mean, because all these new head units are hitting right now. So we've really been concentrating on the radio portion of it. I'm assuming sometime later this year, once things slow down, we're going to put a subwoofer in it. I've already got a box built. I just don't know if I'm going to keep it. That was actually the last box built.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm just going to give it to Sean at Bright Star and have him remake it differently but the same. Because I'm thinking like 110 in a ported box, but I haven't decided yet. Morel, Maximo, 6s or Alpine. I'm going to go Morel every time. You know, the R-Type's nice. It's great EQ speaker, meaning they come very flat. You can have fun with them and make them sound to... I like the Alpine R-Type because it's one of those, when the guy comes in and says, I listen to everything, and then you try to get out of him and he really doesn't know what he listens to. I like the R-Type because the R-Type I can put in there and I know he's going to be happy because it's just got a lot of range to it that we can EQ it one way or the other. I'm a bigger fan of Morel only because I've been listening to Morel for 20 years now and I love the way they sound. I use Morel in my house, so all my home speakers are Morel. So every day when I go home and turn on the TV, I listen to Morel.
All right, did you guys build custom subwoofer boxes?
We already answered that.
Who's that?
We got that one.
Thanks. What do you think about Morel Maximo?
Yeah, we covered that. You guys like the Pioneer AVIX 601EX. Okay, so here's the deal. Alpine or CarPlay and Android Auto, it's one of those features that once you've used it, you don't not want to use it. So the X601, 501, the 500, the 600, Kenwood's same thing. They have the 395, 695, or 595, 795. All those radios are cool. Okay, they're nice little radios. Yeah. They're great. Like the Kenwoods will do Waze. They have the Pioneers have great Bluetooth. They do a ton of stuff. Like the Kenwoods have network mode. I'm sorry, the Pioneers have network mode. So you can have a lot of fun with these radios.
Yeah.
The frustration I had last week when I was playing with the Kenwood was I went from a Halo 9 that had CarPlay to a radio that doesn't have Halo 9, that doesn't have CarPlay, and that drove me nuts. So for me, like a 2330 or a 2440 it's more, maybe $100. It's totally worth it. After CarPlay, there's no going back. Exactly, dude. Jason, I could not agree with you more. It has been the most frustrating 2 weeks driving around with this radio because it's like, I was a big fan of Siri Eyes Free. I like Siri Eyes Free. I can't use Siri Eyes Free. She's dumb.
Okay.
CarPlay Siri, she's got the IQ. She does the stuff I want. Okay. Siri Eyes Free, it's like, ding. That's not what I asked you to do, crazy woman. Okay. Sealed versus ported. Oh, another great box question. And we've covered this a couple times.
Yeah.
If you like loud and boomy, you want a ported box. If you like almost as loud, not quite, but a little bit harder sound, meaning more of a more precision, you go with a sealed box.
Yeah.
Now, before, years ago, every woofer had a 1/2-inch surround, so it really sucked. Some of the better woofers, like the guy that keeps asking about the XE2s, those had a bigger surround on them, but a lot of woofers just had a little 1/2-inch or a 3/4 inch, or maybe if you were lucky, a 1-inch surround. So you just built ported boxes because you wanted to get a ton of sound of them. Now, subwoofers are so diverse. I mean, there's so many different types of subwoofers that will give you that nice long throw, loud sound of a ported box, but with the total control of a sealed box.
Yep.
So it really just depends. It really just depends on what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I know that's kind of like a round answer. Ported versus bandpass. I'm gonna go ported versus bandpass. There again, if you want that, if you like a really narrow bass response, bandpass is cool. If you want a really wide, you literally, like, I listen to rock all the way up to jazz, no country. I even like classical, like classical, like the 1500s, like the like the guys with white hair type stuff. I really enjoy that for some strange reason. It's kind of soothing. Plus, it makes me think of movies, like movies. I have a lot of movie soundtracks. Anyways, a band pass just never worked for me. Now, for my living room, I have two 12-inch subwoofers in band passes. Very big ports though, so that they put out a lot of frequency response. But there again, I also have two big 8-inch mid bass that play down pretty low. So, anyways, there you go.
Where's a good day to visit your store?
Yes, Bobby. We're open Monday through Saturday. We're always here. So
we're always here, yeah.
Always here. Hello from Hawaii.
All right, hello. Crossing over 5x7 front and rear, 3-way, 80, 100, or 120 subwoofer in the back.
So, I would probably start at 100, and you're probably going to end up at 120, depending on the type of music you listen to.
What about the slope?
Okay. Start at 100 at like 18. You might be able to go down to 80 at 24 if it'll do it, if you want to get a little bit lower and you don't listen to hip-hop, big bass music. If you listen to big bass music, though, you're going to want to go a little bit higher, and the slope will just block more off. So it'll allow you to get a little bit more mid-range out of them, but then stop faster, so you won't hit those lower notes. You have a subwoofer in the back, you might be all right. It just depends on the type of music you're listening to. We always try to be right around 80 hertz if we're doing like our big systems, and like with the really nice expensive speakers, we try to do it at 880. That doesn't always work out. Sometimes you get up to 100, 120. It really just depends. Like when we were doing the Mustang the other day, we knew what type of music he's listening to. He's just going to be like straight up hip hop all day long. So we knew that those C3s weren't going to take 80 hertz. They sounded good at 80 hertz, but they weren't going to take it with the volume he was going to play it at. So we ended up at 120 at 12 dB because we used the amplifier instead of the radio. Yeah. All right, what do you got?
All right, let's see.
wait, real quick. The guy goes, I used to live in Clearwater, but then I moved to Michigan. I used to live in Michigan, but then I moved to Clearwater. We flipped. I guess somebody had to fill the void. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see.
Hello from Orlando. I'll see you soon. I'm going to Orlando.
Cape of Coral.
Cape Coral.
Yeah,
yep.
Florida.
Cape of Coral?
Cape Coral.
That's a great place. It's a good place to go. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, enjoy the weekend. Thank you, Ralph. I will try to. Haley's planning on trying to kill me this weekend because she wants to go to one of the water parks. So I had to go get earplugs and all kinds of fun stuff so that she's like, just don't put your head under the water, Dad. But she didn't say it like that, but that's how it felt.
For me, that's true.
Yeah, I know, but it's a water park, man. Come on.
What does that mean?
You guys need an online store. No. I need that Stinger shirt.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, what you really need is a Stinger hat. That is sexy. I don't think I have one of those anymore. I have it in my car. Yeah, those are cool. I like their Stinger hats.
With the pack RP5 basic module.
Alright.
What gauge wire should I use to jumper the yellow and black wires around the module?
Got the cool red rocker hat. What's up, bro? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
RP5. What jumpers should I use? To do what?
To jumper.
Right.
To jumper the yellow and black wires around the module.
Oh, well, you're gonna just go from yellow and black on one side to yellow and black on the other side. That's it. You're just gonna use like a piece of 18 gauge. Like if you got some extra remote turn-on wire or something like that, just tap in one side, tap in the other. Typically, what we do is like we'll just spread the wire close to the plug, you know, about 2 inches away from the plug. We'll just spread the wire apart, solder our leads in there, shrink wrap it or tape it, depending on what side it's on, and then run it over to the other side and do the same thing. That's all you got to do. Okay.
Do you guys have a video on the F-150 using the AX DSP?
No. Haven't done anything with the Metro stuff.
No.
Probably not going to. I got to be honest with you. It's not even on the radar of things we have listed to do. I'm going to sell a different DSP. At the end of the day, I'm going to sell them a DSR1, or I'm going to sell them an audio controller or something like that. I like those pieces better. All right. Do you guys anchor sub boxes down securely? If so, how? So here's the deal: if the customer wants the trunk, or if the customer wants the sub box secured in the trunk, what we like to do is not actually physically secure it to the trunk, because what we found is that every time we take L brackets or something like that and try to screw a sub box in, they always rip them out. It never fails. Someone's always ripping out the screws. We've tried rivets, we've tried everything, and people just rip these things out. So, and the reason for that is because the box is not giving any. A box wants to move, it becomes very heavy. So, what we do is we take plastic and we make a strip the same length as the box, try to go an inch to a half inch to an inch in height, and about an inch wide. And what we'll do is we'll pull out the little spare tire cover thing, and we'll screw it through the bottom of that, so that that strip, basically what we're doing is we're putting a lip in the trunk, so the box is going to sit on that. Now what that, when the box tries to move, it hits that. What that's going to do though is that's going to give the box a little bit of ability to move and shift, which, believe it or not, has never been, it's like problem solved. The box doesn't go flying to the back of the car, but it gives it just enough little so that it can move back and forth and never break. So that's what we do.
All right. Do you have a link for the Stinger A47 capacitor?
A link? Unfortunately, no, because they're bulk. You got to buy them in bulk, so I don't know of anyone. But Parts Express. Go partsexpress.com. You could probably find a 47 microfarad capacitor from those guys. That's what they specialize in. So it's partsexpress.com. It's a wonderful place to visit, by the way, because they got a lot of neat stuff. So definitely check that out.
Addison, I see you next Saturday then.
See you next Saturday.
Do you guys have any tips of trying to find a good car stereo installer, since you guys are the best?
It's one of those things. How do you find a great car stereo installer? For one, you have to have already hired a great car stereo installer that is willing to train somebody else. When we hired Fernando, okay, so obviously this isn't the first place I've installed car stereos. I used to work at another place. I worked there for 21 years. Over that course of 21 years, I started as the do boy, just like anything else. It was 1990. It was right after I graduated high school. And I was just happy to have a job. I did anything. I cleaned the toilets, I swept the floor, I vacuumed. I was also going to college and worked for Procter & Gamble at the time. So I only worked at the car stereo shop like 3 days a week, so it was kind of like a part-time job. A lot of fun, but I would just do whatever needed to be done. I'd help the installer if he needed help there. As time went on, more and more responsibility came into play. And then I quit my job at Procter & Gamble, went full-time at the car stereo shop. I was going to night school, wanted to be in architecture, decided that wasn't working out for me. But what happened is we would hire installers. Okay, so my job was to A, make sure the installer knew what the heck they were doing, and B, keep an eye on them, because I was the manager, so to speak. So from there, it just became like this circle of life of install, and my job was to make sure they were on task and make sure they were doing what they were supposed to do. I was there to show them how to do it if they didn't know how, because at the end of the day, it was like I'd go back there and I'd say, listen, this is what I need you to do. I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. This is where I want you to run the wires. This is how I want you to do it. And they'd look at you and go, okay. And then throughout, I would go move on to the next guy, and then I would just be back and forth between the two of them so that we could get double the work done with 3 guys. The problem was that they wouldn't listen because, installers, believe it or not, they usually have some form of an ego. Like, I don't need to listen to this guy. Black guys usually didn't last long because it was like, no, you don't understand. I don't want it done that way. I don't care how you feel it should be done. You're going to do it the way I want it because that's the way I want it. So have a great weekend, Jason. Thank you. Patreon, DNF Tool Drawer, Teespring, for sure. So when we hired Fernando, it was real simple. It was like, listen, I want somebody that knows the pointy end of a screwdriver, but is not going to bug me enough to where they're going to argue with me about how I want something done. I want to show him how I want it done, and then I just want him to keep copying that and doing it and doing it, doing it. So when you have a good installer or a great installer, it's easy to find a second guy. Talk to your installer and say, hey, listen, you know, would you be all right if we bring someone in and you help me train them? And then from there, you know, he will learn the way you want things done. To me, that was the best scenario I've ever been in, because anytime I had to bring someone in, like I said, it was always like, you're doing this with this guy, and it's like, look, I don't care how you learned how to do it. That was wrong. This is how we do it. I don't want to have this conversation over and over again. So, you know, coming from that perspective, it was just like, no, I don't want a guy, because we had an opportunity to hire a bunch of guys that were like, bro, man, I want to come work with you, man. I want to come work with you. And I was like, I don't want you to come work with me. I don't want you. I want the guy that knows nothing. Not that you know, and 5 years later, he's freaking awesome. So, all right. That was a great question. Thank you. Okay, MCM Electronics has capacitors. Thank you very much. There you go. I work in auto repair shop. Some of the older guys do not want to train newer guys. I think they feel like their job's at jeopardy. Totally. That's why, you know, you have to talk to your installer and see if it's something they want to learn. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to be doing this forever. You know, I'm getting older, believe it or not, and I don't want to be the guy that's always crawling underneath the dash or crawling underneath the car. I need other people to help me do that so that I can be useful in other ways. Like, you know, when I need to go quote a job for Paul, I know that I can leave Fernando here and he'll do exactly what needs to be done, because we've done it so many times and we think on the same level now.
And I would burn the place.
No, because I mean, there again, when we have vacation, when we need time off or something like that, we bring in a rotation. We have a guy that we know that'll come in and help out and just kind of be along for the ride, and you know, and you know, it's always funny to hear the stories when I come back, because Fernando will be like, and I know the guys, so it's like they all know who I am, but Fernando will be sitting there and go, no, dude, that's not how Dean does it. You know, so good times there. All right, what do you got? Got a couple more, and then we're gonna hit the road.
All right, James, if you build a full sound system, speakers, head unit, amps, subs, etc., which brand do you choose?
Ooh, so if I had to pick one brand to go full tilt boogie, that's where it gets kind of sucky, because that's only going to leave the Japanese companies in there. So that's either going to have to be Kenwood, Alpine, or Pioneer, because Rockford doesn't make head units, and Kicker doesn't make head units, Morel doesn't make head units, Focal doesn't make head units. So if I'm going to go full tilt boogie and I have to just pick a manufacturer, I'm going to do Alpine. At the end of the day, I'm going to do Alpine. I'm totally going to do Alpine. I like their amps. I like their radios. I love their speakers. You know, I like their head units. They're nice. I mean, but if I have to choose one, then I'm going to go that way.
All right, so 2002 Toyota Sequoia. Left speaker is no sound. Tweeter works, the mid works, but the bass doesn't work.
Probably because it's dead. Those Toyota speakers in that year, they all dry rot. So what you'd want to do is get the door panel off, grab a test speaker, grab a digital multimeter, see if you get any action out of that. And then a great speaker to replace that with is Audio Pipe actually makes a 6.5 inch subwoofer, and it's a 6.5, even though that's like a 7 inch. You just make a bezel, fit it in, and it fits well, and it sounds pretty good. We've actually done a couple when those, a few years back, when those were like real popular trucks. We were putting the Audio Pipe 6-inch little woofer in there because it was just to fix it, and yeah, it was very satisfactory.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else?
Rockford did make head units.
It's Dean's Way or the Highway.
In the old days.
Rockford did make head units back in the old days. They were made by Delco. So the funny story goes, when they were actually debuting them, they had the Delco rep there to answer all the questions because no one at Rockford knew what the heck they did. But that was a story that I heard over the years, so who knows.
Yeah.
DD makes a 6.5 inch subwoofer. No, they do. The nice thing about the Audio Pipe is it's pretty shallow. Because I mean, there's lots of companies that make 6.5s, but they're made to be like, yeah. And this isn't that. This is just to replace like a factory woofer. So that's what you want to do. Because even Sundown makes an amazing 6.5. That one guy, he brought in his in his like little cool ported box. I was like, damn.
All right, on your podcast this week, you talk about the manufacturers taking how to install, but all they do is telling you what their stuff is about.
Yeah.
We do a knowledge fest to teach installers the proper way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Knowledge Fest is something that the 12-volt industry puts on to invite companies out to help train, and they bring in trainers to help educate people or installers how to do a better job, try to set some form of standard for people, for us, to do better work in your car. It's a great idea. It's awesome. The problem is that a lot of places just don't have the ability to send their people out there.
Yep.
Because they don't have the time. Like, trying to get 4 days off here to do something would absolutely cause Paul, I think, to pass out and maybe explode.
Yep.
Just because he's not set up to allow us to do it. Therefore, any learning or anything like that we have to do on our own time, meaning at nighttime when producing the show, scouring, whenever, the phone is your friend. I mean, I'm constantly searching, reading, trying to keep up to date with everything that's going on. And it's a struggle. It's a lot of time that goes into it, but at the end of the day, you have to do that to be on top of your game, to be able to know what the hell's going on.
Bobby, yes, he's from Fusion. That was like 4 years ago.
Oh, the alien?
Yeah, the alien.
Yeah, we
went
got
to the
with Spring Break.
Spring Break.
Yeah, it was an alien we got at Spring Break. It was actually Haley was with us on that one. That was really cool. We didn't film it because we weren't ready to do that kind of stuff yet.
Not even thinking about it.
I think they were charged. I think they usually they give them away for free, but I think they were charging people for them, which is why it's still hanging on the wall, because I think I had to pay $5 for it.
Really? No.
Yeah, no, they were selling them. It sucked.
No.
Like I said, they usually gave them away for free. Either way, that's why it's there, and it's just gonna hang there, and
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
That's it for tonight. That's an hour. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in, for asking your questions. We're sorry I couldn't get to all of you. Really enjoy this. There's always Monday night. Monday night's just going to be a Q&A show too. That's going to be on Facebook, of course. So check us out, Cardio Talk, Facebook Live. T-shirts, Teespring/store/5-star. DNF tool drawer will get you to the place where we put links to our tools. We're trying to update it as quick as we can.
Yep.
Patreon, if you guys want to support the show financially, it's cool. We dig it. A couple bucks, whatever turns you on. It's up to you. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm off to drive to Disney. You're off to play with your kid.
Yes.
You guys have a good night.
See you later.
Bye.